All right, welcome. We're going to do chair yoga today, and this class is specifically going to be about rooting into the seat. We are going to stay focused on the feet into the ground, but for the most part, this class is going to be available to all levels of ability and mobility. So some of the things that I recommend: grabbing a chair that has no arms to the side, because we're going to be using those sides of the chair to reach our legs around. If you have blocks, we can certainly use some of those to help get deepened into some of the poses. We're going to do a little bit of shoulder work. So if you have a strap, that would also be beneficial, but if you don't, a long sock, a scarf, a belt, anything like that would work. And then because we're going to be staying in the chair today, we will be doing a seated shavasana as well. And sometimes it's really nice to kind of cushion up the chair for that. So if you happen to have any blankets, feel free to kind of have all of those things put aside. So I'll just give that minute for everyone to do that. Make sure that you are keeping some water close by as well. This may not be an extremely vigorous flow, but we will be working into the muscles of the body. All right, so we're just going to start off by letting yourself root into your chair. Ideally, we want the feet to be able to be flat on the floor and to feel a sense of connection to the ground. So if your chair might be a little too high, you can always step on a book or a block if you have it. Sometimes it helps just to slide out towards the front of the chair. So just go ahead and find where that perfect spot for you is. So our goal here is for those feet to feel connected to the ground. A little bit of activation in the legs. So as you're pushing down, you'll feel the muscles of the legs waking up a bit. But then we also want to bring our attention to those sit bones. They should be planted into the ground. And we can imagine that into the seat, through the legs of the chair, and into the ground. So just feel that stacking, as if those four legs of the chair are an extension of your own body. Let the spine stack. Now we're just going to start off with a little upper body movement. Inhale. Bring the arms out to the side. We're just going to draw little circles with the shoulders. And all the while, imagine those fingertips are trying to get away as far as they can from the center of the body. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Take those circles in the other direction. Yes. And let's interlace our fingers. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Press the palms and round the back. You can hinge forward as much as you want to. You can even bring those hands towards the ground if that feels good, or just reach them straight forward. Inhale, lift those arms up overhead. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Let the neck get long. And exhale, release and bring those hands behind the back. So you might need to slide forward if you were up against the back of the chair, but let's pull those arms together and lift the heart. Just take a couple breaths here. Let the shoulders reach back and down as if they were looking over the edge of the Grand Canyon. And release. Arms are going to come out to the side. We're going to place that right hand just to the side of the chair. Grab on nice and strong and reach up with the opposite hand and just take a nice side bend. Whatever feels good. We're just loosening up the body right now. Come on back and let's do it to the other side. Nice. And back. So a couple options here with our twist. You can bring your hand to the knee or take it to the chair on the opposite side of the leg. Reach the arm up and over and see if you can grab a hold of the back of the chair. Once we get here, we're going to root back into the feet and into those sit bones, getting tall in the spine, and just allow a gentle stretch to look back over the shoulder. Take a deep breath here. Oh, feel that movement. Stretching into the body. Let's just release nice and slow. And take it to the other side. On the inhale, we can get nice and long. And on the exhale, we take that twist a little deeper. And return to center. Nice. So we're just going to let those shoulders roll up towards the ears a few times. Take it in the other direction. While you do that, just settle into feeling the rooting of the feet and the rooting of the sit bones. Let the shoulders drop back and down. We're going to take the left ear to the left shoulder. Keeping the spine nice and straight. Just notice the stretching in the side of the neck. And then we're just going to drop the chin to the chest. Feel that stretching in the back of the neck. And then let the right ear roll to the right shoulder. Our goal is to keep those shoulders dropped away and down so that the head has lots of space to just roll around like a ball at the end of a string. We can create a little pendulum swing here, just from the side along the front, back and forth. See if you can feel a little deeper stretch each time you make it to one side and then the other. And then if it feels good, let the head follow through with a full circle. So just do what feels good here. We're taking this slow. We're bringing awareness into the muscles of the neck. And if you're going in full circles, go ahead and take it in the other direction. Just notice any sensations you might be having in the neck, in the shoulders, or even up high in the back, in between those shoulder blades. Bringing our awareness to how everything is connected within the body. And let's come on back into a reset. So we're going to work into the shoulders a little bit, and this is where we'll bring in our strap, or as I said, a scarf, a belt, anything like that. We want to be able to have the arms at least about 3 or 4 feet apart. So perhaps if it's available for you to reach your arms behind you, that would be the ideal. We don't want to feel, if we come back over behind us and we feel a lot of tension in the shoulders, give yourself a little extra room. Great. I'm going to close mine up a little bit because I want to be able to activate a nice stretch here. I'm going to take it up overhead, stay nice and tall in the spine, and just pull one arm down while the other arm reaches up. So we're going to keep our spine right where it is and just let the movement happen in the shoulders. Let's just do this. Again, we're not going to forget about the rest of the body. We have some movement happening in the shoulders, but let's come back to those feet. Press them in, activate the legs, feel those sit bones grounding in, and continue with this flow. Feel the loosening in the shoulders. Very nice. All right, we're going to take our hands a little bit closer. Take your right hand, drop it down under the left hand. Take that left hand that's up in the air, and you're gonna turn it so that your fist is shaking up to the earth or to the sky, and then pull it around behind you. So the strap will go out past your arm and come back behind your shoulder. Great, come on forward. And we're gonna do it on the other side. Fist turns up, other hand reaches back behind, and we pull it. Just getting into our shoulder mobility. Go ahead and do that. Keep the strap taut. Keep some tension on it. So don't let it go slack. Nice. Should be feeling some nice warmth in the shoulders here. And we're gonna take it back to center. Open up the hands a little bit wide. Slide all the way to the front of your chair. And we'll just bring the shoulders back behind and up over. So let the hands come as far apart as they need to be able to find smoothness up in this top portion of this motion. Now, if you've had shoulder injuries, I recommend just dropping the strap and just allowing some smooth circular motion rather than trying to tie the shoulder motion into the boundaries of the strap. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and place that strap down. I want to work the shoulders in another direction. So now if you have a block or a book or really anything that's about 6 to 8 inches wide, we're going to use that with our shoulder motion. So instead of pulling apart like we did with the strap, we're going to press together with our block. So reaching the arms out, always keeping a soft bend in the elbows. So we want to have a micro bend here. We don't want to lock out the arms. We're going to hold it in front of us and just start squeezing. We're just going to lift it up overhead. As you lift it up, feel the shoulders drop back and down, and then take it forward. So oftentimes when we reach something up over our head, our shoulders want to come way up here, but we're going to keep them down. We want movement in the shoulders. And then you can even bend the elbows and take the block to the base of your neck. Reach it up and down. Very good. Keep that activation. And then, as I said, keep those feet grounded into the floor. Keep the sit bones pressing into your chair. Great. One more time. And wonderful. We're going to go ahead, put those down, and we're going to get into some of our spinal movement here. We're going to come into a little back bend. So you can reach your hands back onto the chair. Feel like coming towards the front of the chair, staying towards the front is the best option here. As we're going to lean back, keeping that nice bend in the elbow, pulling the shoulders and the elbows together and allowing this little bending back. So this is a nice stretch up into the anterior deltoids, as well as into the pecs, and then lifting up the heart. Pressing into the hands. Again, let's think about all of our rooting points. Press into your feet, press into the sit bones, feel those legs waking up. They're not gonna get a break today. We're gonna be keeping them engaged and then pressing into the hands and up through the heart. And coming back to neutral. Very nice. Now you can slide back or you can stay forward. We're going to come into a forward fold here. So keeping the chest lifted, we're just going to lay the belly onto the thighs. And then if it feels available, you can just let the head fall towards the floor. This is going to be like our child's pose. This is our release. Just still feel that grounding into the floor with your feet. Let those sit bones reach back and down into the chair as you release the upper body in your child's pose. Awesome. We're going to come up slightly and pull the shoulders. So our hands are going to come to the knees. Grab onto the knees. Pull into the knees as if you were going to try to pull onto your legs to pull yourself up. Keep the seat rounded and pull the chest through into a cobra pose here. And sink it back into your child's pose. Going up into your cobra one more time, pulling into the knees, chest comes forward and back. All right, we're gonna move into a chair pose. So I would like for us to shift our weight a little bit more into the feet and reaching up. If you feel like it's available to start lifting the weight of the seat off, that's okay. And if not, keep those sit bones grounded. Holding this, legs should be activated. We're going to come into a revolved chair. Hands come to heart center. Right elbow comes across. And we can twist. Again, keep the weight in those feet as we press. Long in the spine. Looking up over that shoulder, up to the sky. Come back to center. Strong. Keep the weight in the feet. Take it to the other side and press. Finding that nice spinal movement. Breathe deeply. Come on back to center. Sweep the arms up into your Utkatasana, child's pose. Release that. We're going to come up smooth to our cobra. Nice smooth inhale. And exhale. Back into child's pose. Sweep the arms up. Stay in your chair pose here. Weight comes in the feet. And we're going to bring the opposite hand around. So you can come back into your revolved chair with palms together. Or if it's available, opening up the arms and coming into this nice deep twist. Pressing into the feet. So those legs are not going to be moving. Seat stays rooted. Looking great. And we'll come back to center and take it over in the other direction. Into that chair pose so the legs are activated. Coming into your twist. Take some deep breaths. The inhale gets tall in the spine. The exhale allows a deeper twist. And we come back to center. Reaching up into Utkatasana, folding into child's pose. Up into your cobra. A little reset here and take it back to child's pose. Stay in your child's pose for just a moment. See if you can really release into those back muscles. For some people, this may be a little too compressing, you can always lay a blanket or two over your thighs to help find more release in this pose. And then we're just going to gradually, one vertebra at a time, roll up the spine and come to seated. Okay. So that was a lot of work, nice work in our shoulders, some nice movement in the spine. We're gonna move down into the legs and the hips. So we can slide back a little bit if you would like. Whatever allows you to feel that seated grounding, feet and sit bones. We're gonna start with the left leg and just reach it out in front of us. So keep the sit bone pressed in, but see if you can lift everything else up off of the ground. Parashurasthasana. D. Holding the toes. Now flex the foot, push the heel out, and then point the toes. Flex and point. You might notice there's some real shaking going on in that leg. As I said, we're not going to give the muscles a break. We're going to work them all, even though we're going to be doing our work in the chair. Go ahead and place that hand or that foot down and reach up with the other leg. Pointing the toe, press in the sit bone, but see if you can lift the rest of the leg off of the chair. Tall in the spine. Flex the foot, press the heel out, point the toes. Make sure that this foot that's on the ground is pressing in. So we're feeling that grounding. We're activating the muscles. And go ahead and place it down. Come on back to the left leg. We're just gonna pull the knee up. If you can place the foot on the chair, or you can just let it dangle. We're just stretching into the hip here. And take some nice deep breaths. And then place it down. And do it on the other side. So we're gonna start moving into some external rotation of the hip openers. So we'll go ahead and place the feet about hip width apart. If you have any issues, hip injury, hip replacement, and you can't cross or open the hips too much, it's fine to just let the foot come out to the side to help it open up, and just let the knee fall as much as possible. If it's available, we're gonna place the ankle on top of the opposite knee. And then just root into your chair. So our first goal here is to allow this hip opening action. So you can place your hand on the knee, flex into the foot, and just allow a gentle pressing into the knee. Avoid any sensation that it would be considered pain. We don't want pain, but maybe a deep, intense stretching sensation. We can, as long as we can breathe smoothly. If it's available to bring the chest forward, I'm going to turn sideways just to demonstrate. So I don't want to round into this. I want the chest to come forward. So maybe even the elbow comes to the knee. And I'm pulling my chest like I'm trying to reach it out. And lay the belly, so I'm closing the angle here between my belly and my thigh. Depending on your own level of ability, your own availability in your body for today and in this moment, we could be laying flat, or you could still be Sitting with a tall, erect spine. All right, coming up, I want us to release out of that ankle. So just slide the ankle a little more off of the knee and give it some circles, both directions. Nice. And let's take it to the other side. Gently support the leg as you take it up and over. And we'll bring it up. Find your level of availability. And just take a moment with that tall spine to just settle in. This is our first hip opening action today. So let's give the body just a couple of breaths to settle into that. You might be feeling it back here in the glute muscles, as well as up front in the hinge. Press into the sit bones, get tall in the spine, and maybe start finding that forward fold. And if not, that's fine. Just stick with the sensation that feels like it's benefiting your body right now. We're going to look for some stillness within the breath. Feeling this sense of lengthening into the spine, pressing into the sit bones as we inhale, and a soft release a little bit deeper on the exhale. And sitting up, we're just going to slide the foot a little bit further and give it some ankle action there. I'm going to try to get into all of those different joints today, get everything moving. And we'll come back to center. All right, so now we're going to be opening up. We're going to take it one leg at a time, taking that left leg. We're just going to step it out to the side. Keep yourself centered towards the front. So everything is squared to the front of your chair. So we have this opening action here. And if it's available, maybe even lift that foot up a little bit. Yeah. You can hold on to the knee. Helps open up the chest to the front, reaching out the arm. Take a few deep breaths. And then gently allow the leg to come up. And let's do it over on the other side. Opening first, grounding into the chair, and then lifting up that foot if that's available. Pulling it into Padangusthasana B. And if you feel it's available and you want to go into a more deeper Padangusthasana B, you can actually use your strap and open it up. Or we can just simply hold on to that knee and feel the expansion and the strength. Go ahead and bring it back. We're going to open up now into our wide angle. This is our goddess pose. So from here, we're going to press into the feet. I welcome you to press into the feet to the point where you may feel the sit bones lifting a little bit. And if that's available for you, see if you can do that. As you lift the arms up overhead. On the exhale, you're going to come deeper. Keep the feet activated, but feel the sit bones pressing in. And take the hands to heart. Feel yourself just come deeper into the ground. On the inhale, sweep it up, press into the feet. See if those sit bones can lift up just a little bit. And then exhale, everything roots as we come into our goddess pose, hands to heart. Beautiful. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, really feel the activation and the rooting into the ground. And then exhale. Nice. We're going to start off with your right hand is going to hold on to the front of the chair, and your left hand is just going to reach up We're just going to bring in a little bit of a twist into our goddess pose. Shoulder rolls back, heart lift. Go ahead and take it down and switch sides. So both sit bones stay equally grounded here. The movement will be in the spine. Back to center. Arms lift up. We're going to come into a wide angle forward fold. Ah. Feel that release. So now your sit bones are likely reaching out behind you, and that's okay. Our goal here is hinging into those hip flexors and releasing into the upper body. Arms can be holding. Pressing up, halfway lift here. Right hand comes just to the center of the floor in front of your face, and we're going to pull into another twist. See if you can keep equal weight on both of the thighs. Likely one of those thighs is going to want to lift up, so see if you can keep pressing equally in. The feet stay grounded. And switch it to the other side. Shoulder blades are going to roll back towards each other. And bring it back down. We're going to come to our halfway lift. On the exhale, place your hands to your waist. And on the inhale, press up. And we'll bring those legs together. Remember, always feel free to grab a drink whenever you need, or even find that child's pose that we practiced. So we're going to work a little bit into stretching and opening into our iliopsoas and into the quadriceps. So now we're going to actually shift our weight over to one side of the chair. And this is why I recommended no arms in the chair. We're going to slide over to your left so that that left sit bone actually hangs off the edge of the chair. Your inner thigh will slide down. So it'll look a little bit like this, as if you were trying to put the knee down. You can hold on to the chair for support. We're going to grab a hold of the foot or the ankle and press that knee as if we were trying to drive it to the center of the earth. Shoulders going to roll back and down, away from the ear, so that we can lift up. Stretching into the front of the body. Now we're going to take that stretch and we're going to reach the leg behind us and just come into a nice low lunge. So the idea is that the front leg, the right leg, is pressing in nice and strong. Weight goes into that foot. As this leg reaches back, begin to press some weight into the balls of that back foot. Pull the inner thighs towards each other. You might start feeling that lifting. Moving into Anjaneyasana, reach up. Feel that lengthening. Keep pressure into the feet. We're going to come into humble warrior. Keep the back foot engaged, hinging forward. Hands can come down and just let yourself surrender into this fold. Legs stay activated. And sweep it up. We have to keep the legs activated to come up with lots of control. Let the arms come down, secure yourself into the chair as you bring your foot forward and come back to center. Nice. We're going to shift to the other side and start off with that nice little stretch, modified flamingo pose. Just feeling that nice stretch all the way down the quadricep, front of the thigh, up into the hinge. And locking into that front foot, reach back. And set your feet into your lunge. Hands can start on the waist as we really press into the feet and feel the activation into the ground or into the seat as well. Draw the thighs together, lift the arms up. Crescent pose, shoulders drop back and down. Always giving the neck lots of space. Take a few deep breaths. Feel that excellent stretch and opening here in the hip flexors. We're going to come into our humble warrior. Keep the back leg activated. Shift towards the front. Fingertips can come down and just allow the upper body to surrender. Keeping those legs activated. Bringing it back up. Crescent pose. Go ahead and support yourself in the chair. Sink back into the seat and come forward. We're going to work now into our warrior two. So just like we did before we opened up one leg, we're going to take the other leg and reach it back behind us. So now we're going to slide back. So your, let's say, your left leg is along the whole width of your chair. Foot is pressed in, and your right leg is reaching back behind you. We're going to open up. We're going to face the front of the chair with our heart and open out into our warrior two. Now, begin to press into the feet. See if you can lift gently, just a little bit of weight off of the chair. Heart stays lifted. Looking great. And let's relax. Let's reset in the center and then take it to the other side. Find the feet first, then pressing in, opening into your warrior two, and then press deeper into the feet, activating more into the legs. Hips stay forward, underneath of the shoulders. Torso straight up and down. And release. Let's come back and do that on the other side. We can set into it a little bit quicker now. Boom. Okay. And then we're going to lean back, keeping that activation in the legs. Reverse warrior. So make sure you're giving your legs what they need today. Keeping that activation, come forward into extended side angle. And back to warrior two. And center. We're going to do that on the other side. Finding your warrior two, begin to engage deeper into the leg. Reach back into your reverse warrior. Heart is open. And hinge it forward. Nice lengthening. Feel that stretch. And bring it back. Come to center. We're going to move into Dandasana, or our staff pose. I'm going to have you bringing your feet out in front. I'm going to turn sideways just to show. Sit bones are going to come towards the front of the chair. Fingertips, so you're going to turn. So if you laid your hands flat, your fingertips would be pointed towards your torso. We're going to come up on the fingertips here, so you can feel this, this lifting. We don't want the weight. If we drop the hands, there's that tendency to want to push all the weight into the hands. We want to avoid that. So we're going to come on the fingertips, and we're going to let the spine and all of the muscles along the spine help us find this lifting. So legs are straight out. Pull up those toes, ground the heels in, press into the fingertips. And then once you're lifted up, see if you can root into the seat, keeping the length in the spine. Head gets taller, seat roots deeper. This is a very activated pose. So just be cautious not to allow yourself to be passive in this. Sometimes you'll feel a warm flush kind of come over the body in this pose. That's a great indication that you're really activating into those muscles to find that lifting and lengthening. Let's go ahead and soften out of it. Bring the feet in. You're going to loosen up a little bit with some cat-cow. So the feet are hip width apart. You can place the hands on the knee. Again, I'll take a side view. Keeping both feet and sit bones grounded. Pulling the chest forward. Holding on to the knees as I round my back. I really feel that great stretch in my cat pose. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Go ahead and do this a few times at your own breath pace. Finding that spinal movement. Loosening into the spine. And release. We're going to shift into one final pose. We're going to work on eagle pose. And here's another one that if you have some blocks, it might be able to help. So again, if you have an issue like a hip replacement and you can't cross the legs over, I encourage finding a block or something that you can actually squeeze together to help create that compression. We're going to start with our arms out to the side, root into the feet, left arm reaches out in front, right arm comes underneath, and we're going to connect them right at the elbows. Wrap that right arm around. You can bring the palms together or the back of the hands together or whatever feels available, and then bring those forearms right in line with the spine. We're just going to pull up and down on those elbows, keeping that tall spine, staying engaged and rooted into the chair and into the feet. Pull the elbows down and then away from the body. So oftentimes when we do these compression poses, we can do this rounding in the back. So we're gonna pull it down and then lift it away and see how that helps lift the heart. We're gonna keep a lifted heart in our eagle arms. Just take a nice deep breath here and then release and open them up. Let's take it to the other side. Right arm reaches out, left arm wraps underneath and around. Find the center along the spine and just move up and down a few times. The movement up and down helps the shoulder blades soften and move a little bit out towards the sides. And then as we drop the elbows down, pull the elbows away and feel the heart lift. Ideally, if it's available, the palms should be around the level of the face. And release. Excellent. We're going to bring the legs into it now. So a couple options here. As I said, we're going to start with the left arm reaching out straight. So we're going to lift the left leg up. If you cannot cross the legs over, just go ahead and place a block in between and squeeze it. If you can, cross the leg and squeeze. A couple of things you can do here. If you want to root this foot into the ground, you can step it up on blocks. So while you squeeze, pressing into the ground. Or if it's available on your ankles, you can actually reach the toes around the back of the other leg. So left leg's on top, left arm reaches out. Find that wrapping in your eagle arms. Elbows come up and then down and pull them away. Very nice. So while you're here, feel the compression and begin to press into the feet. Press into the seat and get tall in the spine. Heart lifts. Breathing deeply. And we're going to soften out of that. Release the legs. And we'll take it to the other side. So now the right leg's going to open up. Find what works best for you. Squeeze into a block. Place the foot up on the blocks. Or wrap those toes around. This is great. If this is difficult for you to do this when we're standing up, wrapping the toes around, this is great practice to just get the body used to the compression in the legs in our eagle pose, Yoga-Traci. Now that right arm lifts and reaches out. Wrap the left. Find your eagle pose. Root into the feet. Root into the chair. Lifting in the heart and in the crown. Take another deep breath. And release. Very nice. So I'm going to just do a couple of finishing poses just to help soften into the body. So let's open up into the shoulders since we did just a lot of compression with our eagle pose. We can interlace those fingers behind the back and just give a little up bend here. And as we move towards our end of our sequence, as we start moving towards our Shavasana, as I mentioned at the beginning, we're going to do a Shavasana in the chair, but if you prefer to come to the floor and find your Shavasana, that's absolutely up to you. But I will give some great pointers on how to create a soft and inviting environment for your chair Shavasana. Let's go ahead and release that. We're going to slide back into the chair. Go ahead and grab that left knee, and if it's available, you can pull the foot up to the chair. So since we're moving into more of a softening and releasing, it's okay to come into the back of your chair for a little bit of support. We're going to find a twist. So let the right arm come around, grab that left knee. And just give it a nice hug and look over your left shoulder. Allowing our focus to move towards the breath, to move deeper into that rhythmic softening. To feel this cycle of flow, a lengthening and a lifting on each inhale and a release and softening on each exhale. And then gently come back out of the twist, support the foot back to the ground, shift, and take the other leg up. Again, if it's too much to bring it up to the chair, you can always stack some blocks or have a stool or something like that that you could bring your foot up to. Settling into the sit bones and then just wrapping the opposite arm around. So we're just giving it a big hug, and this is just a little slight spinal twist as we look over the back shoulder. Taking some nice deep breaths. Allowing the thoughts to just float by. Allowing ourselves to just be the observer of whatever passes by the mind field. And let's come back to center. So I have two options here. First option is coming into that child's pose, the forward fold. But if it's available to come all the way up with both feet and just hug into it, knees to the chest, feel free to do that. And as I said, the other option is to just come down into a child's pose. So take the option that feels best for you. As we take our awareness deeper into the breath and into this sense of release, quietness. And then gently bring yourself back to a seated position. So I'm going to turn my chair sideways to just show, and it depends on the chair that you have. Some of the ways in which to create a seated Shavasana, providing a little bit of cushioning. Sometimes I like a little bit cushioning on the seat. You can use blankets or pillows or even a bolster at the feet. We just allow the body to come into this rested position. You can put a pillow under the head or a block under the head. You can put some more support behind the back. If you have a second chair, you can even take a more seated Shavasana. So all of this is options for you to find whatever final meditative space that your body needs, could benefit from in this moment. We just bring that awareness Deeper into the breath. Watching this perfect exchange happening within our very selves. Each moment. The bringing in of everything that the body needs. Vital energy, fuel, hope, joy, fulfillment. And then an opportunity to let everything go that no longer serves us. As we watch the breath, we just allow ourselves to ponder the wonder of this constant exchange. An exchange that happens for all others, everyone we meet. All of us share this experience. May we all feel forgiveness. May we all feel happiness. May we all feel love. May everyone's sufferings be healed. May we all feel peace. Taking that next deep breath, just begin to feel that awareness coming back into the body. The muscles waking up, reaching up over your head. Feeling that strength. Each muscle fiber waking up. Just allow yourself to take a moment to just feel this space. Come back into that rooted seat. Acknowledge the space that you've created in your practice in this moment. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. And exhale, allow the palms to come back full circle to the heart. Thumbs lifting to the third eye. Bowing to that light that's within all of us. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you joining. It's always wonderful to see everyone